So I'm going to read here from a publication that my mother had done, My Cross Has Wings, for Cross Year, and this was back in August of 1955. It's about my brother Christian, who was born blind and mentally handicapped, and some of the things that my mother was faced beforehand and afterwards. So here we go. To each of us there comes a day in our lives that is more important than any other day. That is, it is until another even more important day comes along and overshadows the first. To the young child, it will be his first Holy Communion day, until his confirmation day arrives. As he grows older, the important day becomes the wedding day, or perhaps it's the day she enters the convent, or the day he is ordained to the holy priesthood. Or is it the day you celebrated your first Mass, Father? Or is it the day you took your final vows, Sister? It may be the birth of your first baby, Mother. The day to some may be sad, the death of a dear one. It may even be a day that everyone knows about and shares in, a release from a red prison camp. It may be a day that only you know of, yours alone. These days are remembered for their great joy or great pain. They are usually firsts. They are all days that we somehow never quite forget. As we grow older, the days may be even likened to a rosary. The ordinary days are the Hail Marys. The outstanding ones become the Our Fathers. Somewhere there is a cross. My important days began oddly with a seventh pregnancy. It was important to me because this pregnancy, X-ray revealed, would produce the miracle of twins. In that respect, it was a first. My husband and I looked forward to this with great joy. We made plans for months, names, so many things. We joked with our children about the family upset two of the same gender would bring. At that time, there were 3 girls and 3 boys. And there was a great deal of speculation and hoping. Everyone was delighted, though. The days rolled on, the Hail Mary days. Late in April of 1951, I became quite ill. My doctor ordered me to the hospital for special treatment. Something was critically wrong. On May 4th, I was delivered of identical twins, one who had been dead for 3 days prior to delivery. May 4th, and Our Father Day. I shall always remember that day, the sorrow, the disappointment, the deep sense of loss. Even though I had never seen that child, never held him close to my heart, I missed him. A mother's heart may be likened to a house. During a pregnancy, a room is added to the main structure, a room that will be filled with love for the child when at last she cuddles him close. I had added 2 rooms, as it were, and one was now empty. It was a strange feeling that only another person who has experienced it can fully understand, a mystery. And of the other room, was that to be empty too? He was not given much of a chance for survival. 9 days after I left the hospital, my doctor advised me that his condition had worsened, and that a specialist should be consulted immediately. Another Our Father Day, a day to remember for its lack of hope, of even a sort of despair. What do people do when they are faced with situations that are far beyond human hope? Of course, they pray. I prayed. I begged God and His Blessed Mother to let me have this little baby. Have you ever begged God for anyone, for anything, ever? At times we all ask for things, but think of really imploring, begging. 2 empty rooms in my heart was an unbearable thought. I felt that if God did not fill them with my own child, that I would have to adopt a baby to fill that space. The big vacuum. Think then of the great gratitude experienced when that which is beyond apparent hope is thrust into the waiting hand of or heart. Slowly, day by day, Christian Francis began to gain. Then suddenly his growth and strength increased in leaps and bounds. It was the answer to the prayer, where in the line, "Remember, O Queen of Heaven," and earth that thou art the help of Christians, that I said daily. The doctor said he had never seen such a quick improvement. He had fully expected Christian to be in the hospital for 4 months at least, and he rated the suddenness of his gain miraculous. The day we brought Christian home, June 22nd, was another important one, but it lost some of its importance in the days that followed. He grew in strength and to me in beauty. I was a bit more tender, a little more patient with him than I had been with my other babies. He would be slower than other babies his age. I had even been informed that it would take him 2 years to catch up to the full-term baby. Again, the Hail Mary days. As all mothers do, I tried to get Christian to focus his eyes on various objects. When he did not, I reasoned that since it took the full-term baby about 3 months to accomplish this, it would take Christian at least 5 months. He was doing so well in other ways, why worry? One evening in October, I sat holding the baby while he drank his bottle. The light hit his eyes at an angle that enabled me to see into his pupil. Abruptly, I was struck by a white-appearing cloud that seemed to be quite deep in the eyes. I noted, too, that his pupil did not react to light by any change in size. Frantically, I tried to get him to follow my fingers, but his eyes remained in one position, or they closed. My husband was watching me, for he had long suspected something that I had not given credence to, that my baby could not see. Strange that minute, I remember so clearly every detail: my husband's blue shirt, the red tablecloth, the coffee pot perking, the half-empty bottle, and Christian's eyes that did not follow my fingers. I knew it in just that minute. All of the time we waited in the doctor's office, an eye specialist now, I kept hoping and praying that I was wrong, praying that it would not be a lasting thing. The examination lasted 2 full hours. The doctor was very thorough, and he wanted to be very sure of his diagnosis. He was also a kind man, one who believes the clean cut heals quicker than the festering sore of uncertainty. He told us that Christian was suffering from an eye condition that was not uncommon in premature infants, weighing less than 4 pounds at birth. Its medical name is retrolental fibroplasia. The cause was then unknown. The prognosis was nil. There was no doubt Christian was blind. I remember the heavy feeling that descended upon me with those words, the deep ache that words of comfort did not alleviate. The trees were wearing their brilliant fall colors at the time, and it hurt me to look at them. The sun was very bright, and the sky seemed bluer than any I had ever seen before. All that I could think of each thing I saw was that Christian would never see it. The trees, the sky, the clouds, the sunset. The pain was incomparable. Not even prayers eased the acuteness. It was the cross. It must be borne with patience and love, and it would not be easy because it was my son. Like a perpetual rosary, the days go on. We have the joyful days, Christian's 2 little sisters. No, they are not the hoped-for twins, just darling babies that arrived alone. Our Father's days, the day Christian took his first steps alone into what was to him a vast nothingness. This rosary will go on for a long time, but the cross is always there. Sometimes, when I watch Christian overcome some particularly hard hurdle, or hear his joyous laughter ring out, I realize my cross is different. He is happy. My cross has wings. Now, my mom and dad did the best they could do given the times and what they had to work with. I am the youngest out of 11 children. Given everything, I don't think that they did a bad job in raising us. Sure, we all had our problems in one form or another, but what we were given in our faith came from the eternal. After my dad passed in 1983, my mom carried on as the matriarch of the family until her passing in 1996. The sad thing today is that what we see far less of is an understanding of the type of principles and faith my parents had. These things have become overshadowed and even eclipsed by fear and anxiety. The past does not exist to those who do not know it, and it is by this that this present age is approaching a deep and dark chasm. Pray the rosary every day and live it with all the crosses that we are called to bear. Ave Maria.